And I think this is the funnest conversation that we could make today. Like, the 140-pound division is deep. Is Devin the best out of them all?
If he's fighting like this, man, I don't see. It wasn't the most entertaining fight.
Yeah, but
it had a very good ending to it. Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Her Business Pod. I'm one half of the guys, Josh, and I'm joined today with my boy,
Varys.
Oh, that was smooth. Welcome back to another episode of the pod. We appreciate everybody coming in. We had some really, really good fights this weekend. We had the UFC fight night, Song Yadong versus Chris Gutierrez. And of course, we had that crazy super lightweight fight, man, between Devin Haney and Regis. Rougarou, Prograis. Insane fight, man. I'm excited to just get into these fights and start talking. Like, no more bullshit. I guess we'll start with Haney and Prograis, man. I mean, just kind of going back, to the last time we spoke, we had our predictions of these fights and, we had our thoughts and what we thought was going to go down. I think we can just both safely say that we were giving one of those guys a little bit too much more, credit than he probably deserved.
Think so?
I'm just being honest, man. We gave Regis a lot of credit, rightfully so, as the champion, which is just crazy to me. Like, I'm like all over the place, but it's just like there's so many emotions going on, and I have so many different excitements and things I want to talk about. But it's just like going into that, and I know you mentioned this last week, how it's in the Bay, all this and that and stuff. Dude, this did not feel like a challenger fight for Devin Haney, bro. The atmosphere, just everything about it did not feel like Devin Haney was the challenger here, which was so crazy to me. How, like, going into the fight, I was just like, dude, this is insane. Like, this is supposed to be Regis' moment to shine, to take down the undefeated guy, the 30-0 guy, on a mission to be in a 2 weight class division champion. Like, this is his opportunity to stop that. Like, this is a lifetime opportunity, and it just did not feel like his fight going into it. Just going into it, I was like, this atmosphere is just not for Regis right now. The crowd was going crazy for Devin. Insane. I loved everything about it. Everything leading up to it was great. And then, we get into the fight. So, like, I guess, like, what were your thoughts on that? Like,
the walkouts and shit? Yeah.
The atmosphere, everything about it.
Yeah, it definitely felt like a homecoming for Devin. It felt like his crowd, they were screaming. And then when Regis came out with, like, I don't even know, the native Indian mask. I didn't really understand what he was channeling. I would love a little explanation there from him, like maybe an explanation, because that's not some native Indian shit. Does that have anything to do with, like, New Orleans? I don't know.
Who knows? Maybe if we had a New Orleans crowd, it would have been very different.
Yeah, for sure. And, like, this was the first pro Devin crowd, it feels like.
Exactly.
So it was interesting to see, but also it felt like Devin was comfortable in a massive moment with that whole arena screaming for him. And during the intros, he seemed real calm. And right before the ref, like, said fight, and they were doing the face off, and with the refs, like, I explained the shit in the rules in the dressing room.
Yeah.
Touch gloves, and you look at Devin, and he's like lasered in, and I'm like, oh my god,
this is from the bell, man. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was going to mention that from the bell, man. I knew, like, this kid was on one. Like, from the bell, dude, I was like, he's locked in.
Yeah,
he was pressuring Regis right from the gate. I mean, I guess we can just get into the fight now.
Yeah.
Like, he pressured him the whole fight, man. Nobody can say a damn thing about Devin in this fight. Like, he walked him down the entire fight.
Yeah.
And I love that about Devin, man. Like, he came into this fearless. He said he was on a mission to take this guy out. And he just showed everybody. He just proved everyone wrong, man. Like, you look at the tweets, you see tweets from, like, Ryan Garcia. He's like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, he comes in, he's like, oh yeah, like, I'm ready to fight him. Like, good fight, basically. Like, giving him his props. And then you see tweets from, like, Shakur. He's like, oh, fair play, good fight. Like, these guys were talking so much shit. Well, and then they get into the fight, and then Devin just proved everybody wrong, man. Which he was going to regardless. But in the way that he proved everyone wrong, man, like, he walked the bully down, man. The guy that was supposed to walk him down comfortably, very sharp, very meticulous in his game plan. It was beautiful, man.
And powerful.
From
Regis was the power puncher.
like
That's the
it's
craziest
crazy.
thing. And Devin
That's
is the
crazy.
defensive guy. Devin's the guy who moves, but Devin was sitting in the pocket with him every
Oh,
single exchange. And
oh my God,
you
bro.
can count on one hand how many times Regis got the better of Devin throughout all 12 of those rounds. Devin, this for me, I know you're gonna continue, but for me, man, this was by far Devin's performance of his career. Like this is of all the championship fights, and he's had just under 10 at this point. This is his best performance.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think from a boxer standpoint, is definitely his best performance. Um, you know, or from a fan perspective, I should say. I say from like a boxing perspective, I'll say that first fight with not Lomachenko, with Kambosos was probably like up there with one of his best performances. Like this is somebody who had a not only a puncher's chance, but he was actually a very well versed boxer, very good speed, very good foot movement, very good defensively. Um, so just with the whole package and just like the way Devin dismantled him, I think was beautiful. But I would say this was probably Devin's most entertaining fight as a whole because from start to finish, man, he was on him, man. He was on him. The footwork was like, what can we say about that, man? Like, it was some of the best footwork we've ever seen from Devin Haney. Like,
Flawless.
I can't believe somebody can stay that close to a power puncher that comfortably and make him miss. Like, that's insane to me. Like, he
Get
was
hit with
making
nothing.
him miss.
Get hit with nothing. And Regis was really trying. And that's
Yeah.
the thing where people online are saying like Regis didn't show up. Like this is the
No, he
worst
tried,
verse.
man.
He did, bro. You watch that first round. He's throwing the jab out there trying to set
Yeah.
some shit up. But then like the fight progresses and it's like
Yeah.
he like takes the fight out of him. But the distance and the movement for me were so cool. Like he would move back, piece Regis up, and the second he was against his rope, he'd pivot away and just
Yeah.
make it look so
He
clean.
Yeah, he would never give him a opportunity to like plant his foot because that's the thing about Regis. If you let him plant his feet, he's gonna get a good shot off. And I feel like he was never able to get that rhythm going. And that's like the biggest thing. I feel like Devin did so well with his movement is he interrupted the rhythm of Regis. Like that was beautiful, man. Like he never let him set his feet. He was always on the move. He was always probing that jab out. Like he always gave him something to think about. And I think that's so important as a boxer, man. Like this is what sets like the boys from men is like being able to fight that way is so important, man. Because it's nice when you have a puncher's chance, right? It's nice when you're just knocking people out, but when you get it down to the science of it, like this is what makes like a boxer. Like Devin, like this was like if Devin fights like this for the next 4 or 5 fights, he's 25 years old. It seems like he's fighting once or twice a year. If he's fighting like this, man, I don't see. He'll wipe this 140 division.
Yeah,
Clean.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the big topic of discussion right now. But before we talk about like the 140-pound scale and how that looks for everybody else, because there's a lot of fun matchups there.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about him dropping Regis.
Dropped him. I was just about to mention
Him. Like what was your reaction when you seen that?
Honestly, it didn't surprise me, but I was more shocked at the fact that Regis would put himself in a situation where he would absorb that level of power from Devin. Because we know Devin's not the strongest puncher. He's got 15 knockouts out of his 31 wins. Like, he's now in that ratio where he's not knocking enough guys out in his fights. It was picture perfect, man. I think I don't think any other fighter would walk into a punch like the way Regis did. And I think that was just Regis being undisciplined early on, trying to figure out Devin Haney early on. And he learned the hard way. You know what I mean? He walked into a good shot. That's really what it came down to. No, but I wasn't surprised, man. Honestly, a lot of people were surprised, obviously, because it's Devin Haney. It's like, oh, he's out here dropping people now? Like, this is what he's on?
Right.
No, I wasn't surprised. I was just more surprised that, like, Regis would, like, put himself in a situation to get hit with power like that. Because Devin Haney, like, he does throw with some malicious intent. Like, he does throw like he's trying to kill people. Like, don't get me wrong. But most of the time, he's missing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like he's more accurate with his jab more than like his his power punch. So for him
Yeah.
to like run into that flush was crazy to me. Like, yeah, anybody would get dropped by that.
But then it happened a few more times. Like that wasn't even the only time where he
Yeah.
really hurt Regis with that shot. And I think it's a less of a knock on Regis and more so a credit to Devin because like the speed he had with the one and the two, the jab, and then the power shot right behind it, it all was so perfect. And I
Yeah.
think it was the thing where Regis got hit with the jab. He's like, it ain't bad. And then the second shot followed it so fast. He's like, oh shit. It happened like 3 times. And in the
Yeah.
6th round, like Regis did the whole,
Yeah.
chicken the gobble gobble dance for a second, and he really and again, like we spent the whole last podcast previewing this fight talking about Regis being the power puncher and Devin being the defensive guy, and if
Yeah.
anybody was going to be hurt, it'd be Devin.
Yeah. And
And
he just
that just wasn't the case at all, man. That
yeah.
just wasn't the case at all. So yeah, Devin looks so incredible at this size. The speed is still there, and guys are bigger, not expecting, that speed, man. The speed is really what stood out, and the movement is also always a big thing. But the 1-2, the sink is so quick. It's so
Yeah.
quick, dude.
It was great work, man. It was really one of his better performances of his entire career. Yeah, I think Regis completely underestimated him. Just kind of going into my final thoughts of it. Devin Haney it's just a combination of Regis um, not being, too confident. And I feel like he could have been a little bit more confident in his jab because Devin Haney he was getting hit when Devin Haney was getting hit, he was getting hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like if he was just being more confident in his jab, like he probably could have got a shot off. You know what I mean? Like if he
Yeah.
was just throwing the jab out more, eventually that right hand was going to hit, man. And who knows, like if it hit Devin, it's like the big what if now.
The big what if that
Yeah.
we'll never know. But the big
Yeah.
question, Josh. And I think this is the funnest conversation that we could make today.
Mm.
The 140 scale, like the 140-pound division is deep. There's like 5 names that would be fun matchups for Devin right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Is Devin the best out of them all?
Absolutely.
And
I think that I just told you that Devin is defeating Tiafimo, Sandor, fucking Ryan Garcia. He's beating all those guys, man.
Okay.
He's beating all of them. I'm sorry. He is.
Yeah. Now, I'm gonna throw the. What about Tank? Is Tank's another one who's kind of in that realm?
Tank's not in a 140, though.
Yeah, he's fought at 140 before, and for a big fight, I'm sure he'll come up.
But you know how it is
small.
though.
Yeah, he is small. He is small, but it's a big fight.
It is.
Devin's not going to 35.
Yeah, he's not going back.
So he beats Tank.
I think he beats Tank, man.
Yeah,
I think he does.
I think he beats Tank too.
I think it's a similar situation where it's like I said, if he fights a power puncher like that with that much confidence, I feel like he beats anybody. I feel like confidence is like the biggest thing with Devin. Like, if he can believe in his ability to make a guy miss, if he can trust his defensive ability, and he stays in front of guys like that, bro, he will be such a treat at 140, man. I'm telling you, because these guys are just not on his level, man, as far as like, and it's just a cheat code because he's like, his body is just like, he's so physically long. And pause. That was crazy. Yeah. He's like his attributes are insane. Like he's long arms, he's long legs. He's kind of a shorter guy, but he's long arms and long legs, man. So he can move out of situations quick, jab quick, got a long arm. So I don't know, man. I just don't see how like these guys are gonna beat him, man. And it's looking like he's supposed to be fighting Sandor Martin anyway.
Who?
Sandor Martin.
But who is?
Devin Haney.
They already have his next fight.
They already have that because it was supposed to be. Because I guess he was the mandatory for Regis, but then they were like, but it's kind of messed up. They were like, "Nah, fuck you. Like we're gonna." Devin Haney's a much bigger fight.
Yeah, that's like how it works.
That's like the one time they actually broke the rule of like the mandatory thing. So I guess Sandor is 100% going to be fighting Devin Haney next, which I think Devin Haney cleans him out.
Yeah, I don't want to see that fight.
Nobody wants to see that fight, but it'll be one of those fights we have to see, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he could always say fuck the mandatory, let's make a big fight, pay the fee and just keep it pushing. That's
You
always an
know,
option. But
they got
we
Tiafimo trying to.
look, you said it right there.
Hey,
Look,
man.
for me, I think Devin is amongst the elite of the elite at 140, especially off of this performance with Regis.
Yeah.
But when it comes to names, there's one guy out there that I think will give him a tough night in the office if he comes mentally healthy and prepared. And that is Teofimo Lopez, as you just mentioned. I think that Tio that showed up against Josh Taylor. I don't know if Devin Haney wants to stand in the pocket with him. And Tio's a guy who can also move well, can box, and he's fast, and he does all these things like Devin. Is he as defensively sound? No, but he packs a better punch for sure. And
Yeah.
he's the same age.
I know. I agree.
He's the same age. So for me, I think Tio presents not only the toughest matchup for Devin, but he beats him.
You think Tiafimo beats Devin Haney?
And let me specify with like
Oh, God.
a mentally healthy, like the Tio that beat Josh Taylor, that Tio, Devin doesn't see him.
Devin doesn't even, not even a chance.
Nah, Devin, nah.
Not even a chance.
Nah, it'll be a great fight. That'll be one of them ones right there. But I'm taking Tio, bro. I'm taking Tio, man. That dude's elite, bro. Not to say
I
Devin
mean,
isn't, but Tio's just that guy at 140. If he's good, if he's good, because
I
he
just
hasn't
think
been good all the time.
I just think about that Tiafimo we saw against Cambosis. Every
Yeah,
time I think of Tio, I think of that Tio, and I'm like, dude,
yeah,
Devin wipes him.
yeah. That
But I do
Devin White,
agree,
that Tio.
the Josh Taylor Tiafimo is
Yeah,
definitely a much better Tiafimo Lopez than the one we saw at 135. I do agree, but
but
Devin Haney wipes him, man. I think Devin Haney is so defensively sound that Tiafimo wouldn't even know what to do.
yeah,
I just
fair.
I don't
All
know.
right,
I just think
respect.
Devin. I'm that confident Devin at
Yeah,
this point.
let's make that fight happen. They're both champions at 140. The unification is
Dude, how
real.
many
Let's
boxers have we had that are unified and undisputed at two different weight divisions? That would be. There can't be many.
There can't, yeah, and
There
what?
can't be many.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in order for Devin to move up, he had to vacate the rest of his belts.
Ah, so that's
Yeah,
like not even a thing in boxing.
yeah. So I don't at the present moment, I don't think he's undisputed. I think he is because he earned that at one point, so he'd always have that title. But currently,
I
I
think
think
the only way would be if he was like, if Tiafimo had every single belt right now, which he's only one more belt away. If he had every single belt, or two belts, because Devin has the WC now, but if Tiafimo had every single belt and Devin Haney went straight up, no vacancy at 135, just went straight up and beat Tiafimo Lopez, that'd be like the only way, technically, right? That he would be unified at two different weight divisions and undisputed at two different weight divisions. That's
yeah,
never. I don't think that's ever even been a
yeah,
thing in boxing
yeah. I don't think that's a thing. I don't think it could be a thing because you can't challenge for a different title at another weight
without
class.
vacating.
Yeah, yeah. Because you can't challenge somebody at 140 but fight for their 35 title.
But I feel like Tank does it all the time though. So it's
Tank
like
isn't
what?
even a title holder, bro. Tank is just out here
Yeah, I
fighting
know. He's
like
just fighting, dude.
he's just fighting for Atlanta and Baltimore at this point, just to put on fucking shows for people. But
No,
yeah,
I do
man,
think.
140
Yeah,
is deep, dude. 140, I think, might be like amongst the best divisions in boxing at the present moment, with all these guys getting older and moving
yeah.
up, getting better. Like these fights are unbelievable. Another fun conversation that could be held at the moment is where's Devin on the pound for pound list?
I think he's. I think he's number two.
Yeah, you can make the case, dude. You can make the
I think he's
case he's
number two. I
anywhere in the
think.
top five.
Yeah, I'd say he's number two. I think after what Terrence Crawford did, I don't think there's any
Mm. What
denying
about
that
your
he's
boy
number one.
Noya Inoue? He moved up and then beat a world champion.
I'd say he's like two or three. He's like right there, neck and neck with Devin
Yeah,
Haney. I
yeah.
would say. I
Mm.
like what Devin did. He moved up. He got another belt. Got the WBC. I think that's the most important belt in the division too.
Mm.
Um,
Same thing with Noya, dude.
Same thing with Noya, but it's just
And
tough, man. I
you
think
can
I
make the
look at
case that he did it more spectacular fashion because he knocked Cool Boy out.
yeah, that was crazy. I still
Crazy,
can't
bro.
get over that, man.
Yeah, I'm still not over it. You know how much I love Cool Boy, man. It's crazy. I gotta bring it up.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'd say Ney would probably be like he'd probably be neck and neck with Terrence Crawford more than I say with Devin Haney. I would say. But I definitely put Devin Haney at like number 2 because I think what Terrence Crawford did was just unreal.
Yeah,
like he won every single round of that fight.
so did Devin.
So did Devin.
So many
So did
similarities. That's why
Naoya.
these guys are like top 3. Like that's I think
All
any
3 of those
order.
guys didn't lose a
Yeah,
single round in their last fight. That's crazy.
it's crazy. And for Devin, he went all 12.
Yeah.
Spencer Crawford didn't go the full 12, so you can. I mean,
Yeah, Spencer.
whatever. Man, 140 is really up. Uh, that's all I really had. That DAZN card was pretty fun. Montana Love got Montana smacked, huh?
He got slumped, man. That was bad.
That was, man. That was tough to see. But
I tuned
that
into
dude,
that last
that
second.
dude he fought was pretty good, man.
Very good,
Yeah.
and I think Montana Love is. I never really like put stock into him.
Never bought in.
I think he was a great fighter, but I just feel like he gets hit too much. It was just a matter
Yeah.
of time until he fought like a good puncher. You know what I mean? It was about time.
Yeah, that was tough to see, man. That was tough to see. Especially they were trying to build him up, and this is his second fight in a row that's not gone his way against an Australian. It's tough, man. This one was
Yeah.
bad too. The last one, at least, he didn't lose. He got disqualified, and then this one he like lost. It's tough, man. But Liam Perro, I'm excited to see what it looks like for him moving forward. This was only his second fight in the U.S.
Yeah.
Australian dude,
man.
undefeated. So it's up, man. Pumped to see what he does. All right, that's it for boxing, man. UFC. Song Yadong fought Chris Gutierrez. I thought weird main event leading up. Like, why is this had the headlining fight? Watching the fight confirmed. I'm like, how is this the main event? And it was just a really weird night, man, for the UFC.
Yeah.
Interesting finishes, but ultimately, like, what'd you think of the main event?
I thought it was good. I mean, I thought it'd be a little bit more exciting.
Yeah.
It was 2 guys just like who had all the stakes against them, you know what I mean? Like this was like a chance for them to kind of not really make a name, but like, put them in that conversation. I think Chris beating Song Yadong, like I said, puts him in that conversation again. And obviously Song Yadong, if he beats Chris or finishes him, finish would be better, but it puts him in that conversation regardless. And so I feel like both of these guys weren't, it wasn't their best performances. It was just an interesting fight, man. There's so much grappling. I didn't expect as much grappling as it would be in this fight because like these guys are both like very good strikers at the end of the day, very good kickboxers. So I thought it would be a lot more of that, which it was some good exchanges on the feet. I thought these guys were doing well with the kickboxing on the feet. They made it exciting enough. Song Yadong was getting his legs beat up a little bit, and he was beating up Chris's legs a lot. So it was entertaining on that end, but the ground game was just not entertaining at all. Like
Not at all.
I love ground game. I love a good ground game. I love a good submission hunting game, but these guys were just so boring on the ground, man. So boring on the fence. And the few moments they were like standing up was like the highlight of the fight. So I didn't really like this fight. I tried to hype it up and make it exciting, but it just didn't turn out to be that unfortunately. But Song Yadong clearly won the fight. He put on a great performance, and that's all that can really be said about him. Like, I don't really.
Yeah, no, agreed, dude.
Boring fight.
Agreed. Yeah, he looked good. The grappling looked good. He was dominant in those positions. Chris Gutierrez had probably the biggest what the fuck moment on the card in that 5th round when he rose for the Imanari roll and like was clearly not gonna get it and clearly not that guy. Yeah, and then just spent the next 5 minutes of the round. Like it was legit at the beginning, dude. And spent the next 4 minutes and 45 seconds on his back, getting ground and pounded by Song. It was, agreed. Which you said, it just wasn't that much of an entertaining fight. Thing that stood out most for me was Song calling out Peter Yan afterwards. I think that's a fun matchup next.
I like that way better.
See?
I like that way better.
Yeah. And like that deserves a main event. That I can get behind.
Because
All
Peter
respect to
Young.
Chris Gutierrez. Yeah, all due respect to Chris Gutierrez. I just didn't think, and like he was talking shit to people in the crowd. Did you see that?
Sorry, what'd you say? One more time.
It's all good.
My internet completely.
Did you see Chris Gutierrez like talking with to a heckler in the crowd and going
Yeah,
back and forth?
I was like, what is up? What's up with that? Like, this guy was like,
Weird,
dude, what are
bro.
you
Just
doing, bro?
yeah. Yeah,
like, just
telling a
focus.
fan like you would never get in here with me. Like, obviously, bro, you're a fucking professional fighter. Like, obviously,
Yeah,
like,
critics are going to be critics. I never understood that whole argument that like critics can't be critics and they can't talk about fights and stuff like
yeah,
that.
it
Like,
is a nasty thing.
obviously,
It is a nasty thing though. In
but
the apex to like scream out some shit though, low key. Like, it's like
yeah, low
40 people
key,
here.
yeah, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like this guy knows he's not going to fight you. You know he's
Yeah,
not going to fight you. So like, why even entertain it? You know what I mean?
100%,
Hecklers
100%.
are going to be hecklers. It's part of life. You know what I mean? It's like it
That's
happens
right.
all the time. Dude, they say the craziest things to NBA players. Court side. These guys say the crazy. Dude, you have like you make Mike Oduko, wherever the fuck his name is, Sam LeBron's a bitch, all this
Oh
stuff, like
yeah, that
while they're
clip.
on
Did you
court.
see that clip?
Yeah, bro. Why do you
The
think I'm
best part of
mentioning
that clip was the lady in the back, like after Ime says what he did, she like reacted to it. And I wish we just had a mic for these moments that we
it?
could
Dude, so
all
funny.
hear it.
But yeah, it's like it's part of the game, man. Like these guys aren't gonna fight LeBron. Like these guys aren't gonna hoop against LeBron. They're not gonna do shit against him. So it's like it's the same concept. It's like critics are gonna be critics, man. It's like
Yeah,
it's the way of life. You know what I mean?
that's right. That's right. But ultimately, Song Yadong, Peter Yan, you can get behind it.
Obviously, yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's a much better fight. I think I like fights where it brings out the best in both people. Like I feel like Chris and Song was a good matchup on paper when they're standing, but yeah, like Chris is naturally going to want to grapple with you. Song Yadong can grapple; he's proven that. Um, but I just like it when guys bring out the best in each other, and that just wasn't. It just wasn't it. It just seemed like another fight where it's like, all right, moving up the rankings.
that's right.
Didn't
That's
really learn anything in this fight. Well, I'm sure he probably learned a thing or two, but it's like we didn't get our money's worth.
yeah, agreed. Agreed.
Not
Now
that
the
we paid for the fight, but
true. It was a free
the
card. It
fight meant.
was yeah, yeah, weird stuff, man. But the fight that ultimately I thought should have been the main event was the co-main.
Thank you.
Anthony Smith, Khalil Roundtree delivered. I mean,
Now, it wasn't the most entertaining
yeah,
fight.
yeah. I was gonna say those exact words, but
It had a very good ending to
exactly
it.
that it did, man. That it did, and like
What?
some. Kids, yeah, talk about family. Yeah, man. Khalil, what a violent, fun fighter that dude is, huh?
Unnecessarily violent, bro. Unnecessarily violent. He needs to chill out, bro. It's really not that serious, man.
Yeah,
Like we're fighting, it's entertainment. I get it. You want to win. It's a professional fight, but dude, relax, man.
yeah,
Like, stop trying to like kill people in there, bro.
yeah.
Like,
Honestly, like it really doesn't take that much to knock somebody out.
that's what I'm saying, dude.
You know what I'm saying? Like you could just jab Anthony Smith a few times, he'll drop. Like you did not need to throw some of those
Dude,
hooks that were trying to fucking really.
dude, that uppercut was
Oh man,
so unnecessary, bro.
yeah,
Like I bet his jaw is like disintegrated at that point. That
yeah,
uppercut was so filthy, man. Like,
yeah,
and Anthony Smith, he had no intention of guarding it. He just walked right in front of him, stood there, and took an
yeah,
uppercut clean.
yeah. But the
Didn't
balls
even
on
care if he
Anthony
got hit
Smith,
by it.
man. Like there was a few. Like he stood until the third round. He lasted way longer than I thought he would, and
Yeah, we were
he
saying
was
like
standing like
first
in
and second
yeah,
round.
yeah, bro. We thought he wouldn't even last an exchange with Khalil Roundtree. But he really hung in there and he was really pressing forward, put Anthony on his back foot. I'm sorry, put Khalil on his back foot and pushed the pace and like that I was surprised about. And
Yeah,
I thought like it was only a matter of time until Khalil really just fucking
you went wrong.
yeah, just really just hurt this guy. And he did, man. He did. There was a moment in the second round where I was like, all right, it's over here.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
then
on
Anthony
those
hung
leg
in
kicks,
there.
those leg kicks, man. Like, why is he kicking people that hard, bro?
Yeah,
It's just it
we
makes
didn't
no
really
sense to me.
we didn't really see the leg kicks in this one though. The leg kicks were
Yeah,
like,
but it's like
especially like
when
Khalil
he
Roundtree who throws fucking soccer kicks. Like we didn't see none of those this fight at least.
yeah, no, I know. But it's like it's just the way he throws his leg kicks just pisses me off. It's like, bro, why are you trying to kill these dudes? Like, and I don't mean it literally, but it's just like it's just funny to me, like the way he fights, bro. It's like he's really trying to kill people in there.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's honestly comedy. But yeah, Khalil gets it, man. Knocks Anthony Smith out clean on his feet in dramatic fashion. Um, and advances forward, man. It's just like 5 in a row now for him. It's just great, man.
yeah.
He's back in the winning column, man. You know, on a nice little streak. What's next, man? I mean,
It's a big question.
that's a big name, man. That's a big name for his resume. So it's like, where does he go from here? Does he fight like a Johnny Walker? Does he fight,
Again?
you know, a Thiago Santos? It doesn't even exist. Who does he fight, man? Like, where does he go from there?
Alex Pereira.
Alex Pereira. That's who he called out, man. You agree with that?
Just give it to him.
You like that?
There's no other fight that makes sense.
Well, I mean, Alex could technically fight for a belt, but
Alex is the champion.
Oh, I'm bugging. My bad.
Yeah, Alex is the champion. I think Khalil has done enough.
I mean, Khalil fighting for a belt. That I mean, he has, but it's like
I'm being totally sarcastic. Maybe it's not evident, but that call out was fucking insane. And he went into the media and really like defended it and stood on business.
Yeah, that was
like,
insane.
Anthony Smith gets beat by everybody, bro. He just lost to Ryan Spann. What happened? Ryan Spann loses his next fight. He wasn't fighting for a belt. Come on, bud. Let's come back to earth. I got to pull up these light heavyweight rankings to give you a legit answer because
I mean, I was just thinking. I was like, that was such an odd call out, but I was just like trying to actually think about where he goes from here. And I'm thinking like some of these names. If they gave him Magomed Ankalaev, I would just cry laughing.
Yeah, you give him a grappler.
No, well, I just mean like Magomed would just be going backwards again for like the 6th time in a row.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like, what if you give him Jan Blachowicz or something?
Glover?
That was funny. that was good. That was good. I low-key thought about it for a second too. I was like, wait a minute. This guy doesn't exist anymore.
No, I mean,
yeah.
so you think okay, do you think that it's such a bad fight though? I mean, like it's like it might be out of reach right now, but is it such a bad fight to see? Khalil versus Alex?
Oh, hell no. Stylistically, that's a fun fight.
Yeah, who wins?
Stylistically, no, that's a fun ass fight. It doesn't make sense at the moment. It just doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah, you gotta climb the rankings.
You gotta climb the rankings. And I think Jamal Hill's like definitely fighting Alex next. That is 100% the fight. And then there's like 4 or 5 guys that are like right before that all makes sense for Khalil. And he jumped all those dudes. He was like, yeah, I deserve to fight a striker. Fuck all these dudes who are gonna wrestle with me. I want a warrior.
I mean, it could have been good strategy though. Like just throwing it out there, as ridiculous as it sounds. It could be just like good strategy, you know. I'm sure Alex knows the guy exists, but
yeah,
it could definitely be playing in his favor. Like he fights another guy, and then like he makes a good case to Dana, like, yeah, I want to fight this guy next. I think it makes sense. So you never know.
Yeah, for sure. And I think if he wins one more big one, like he's been calling him out now for 2 fights. So it's definitely a good move on his part. We're talking about it. Still, I know Dana's definitely not like, yeah, Khalil's next up, you know, but it's on the horizon, man. He keeps this up, bro. He can really fight for a world title. And like the Khalil Roundtree stories, I mean, one of my favorites, bro. Like the guy used to be like a 300-pound cigarette smoker, depressed teen, found Muay Thai, started fighting, went to Thailand, completely transformed his whole life. We've talked about it many times. Like, the story's inspirational. For him to fight for a world title would be nuts.
Yeah,
but again,
I agree.
He's just a fight or two away.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Anything else on the card you want to talk about?
Oh, I mean, my boy Tatsuro. I mean, there ain't even much to say about
that
this,
Tatsuro,
man. This guy
man.
didn't
Jesus.
even show up to fight. This guy literally threw
he got caught, bro. He got caught.
He got caught? Bro, the guy threw 2 punches the entire fight.
He got caught, man. He got caught.
He did get caught, but the guy literally on stat threw 2 punches.
Yeah. Nah. Bro, that Tatsuro kid is nasty, dude.
He's nasty, bro. I'm telling you.
That kick was unbelievable. I was like,
do you think belt next?
It's funny. That's funny, and it's funny because the flyweight title is on the line next weekend or this coming weekend.
Throw him in the mix.
Yeah, replacement.
Put him as put him on standby unless somebody doesn't show up.
Yeah, there we go.
He'll be there, man. Youngest champion at flyweight.
Yeah.
Dude, that fight was miserable to watch.
Yeah, that'd be
for any Carlos Hernandez fans out there, if they even exist. That must have been rough to watch, man.
Yeah,
that was bad. That was a bad watch, man. 2 punches, bro. 2 punches across 2 rounds. Dog, that's crazy. But yeah,
well, the first round was just a shit ton of grappling. Tatsuro was really fucking.
Yeah, he was shitting on him.
Do I sound like a Carlos Hernandez fan?
It sounds like you're hating, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Carlos. I liked Carlos. His last fight was really good. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna tune into this fella.
Oh, you mean the one he lost?
Nah, the one before that. All right. This is the point of the pod where shit goes south, man. Let's wrap it up. If you made it to this part of the podcast, we really appreciate it. Like Josh said at the top, subscribe, share, rate 5 on Apple or Spotify, wherever you listen. Follow us on the socials at HB Pod on IG, and we'll catch you later this week for UFC 296 and a big boxing fight. Josh's favorite, Sonny Edwards, is taking on. Who's he fighting, Josh? My boy, Bam Rodriguez. See you next week.